Okay, so here we go. We got the 9N tractor, and I got the cap off for the PTO shaft, and I have the arms propped up, and basically I'm trying to lay out where the big compressor right here, this 56 CFM compressor, is going to come off with this drive shaft right here. I got this drive shaft right here, and that plugs onto that little shaft right there. And then I gotta take the other end, and that will plug onto this gizmo here on the flywheel. So I have drilled this out. I need to drill this and make that bolt on there in the middle of the shaft so I can slide the shaft onto it, and then I can run this big 50-pound flywheel with the PTO on the back of the tractor. And then this right here, this is an 80-gallon tank. I'm going to mount this behind the compressor upright. So I think the compressor will be there, and then the tank will be behind it up here, and then what I'll do is I'll make an angle iron frame for this and bolt it on, and then have a rod that goes both ways to hook into both sides of the 3-point hitch, and then I'll have the frame extend out so I can mount the tank right here on the back side of it, and then I'll put some kind of landing gear on it, so when you set the 3-point hitch down, you can swing the arms off the pins and leave it in position somewhere. So that's my plan. I'm going to start to execute that right now. A 3-inch piece of angle iron here, and I'm going to cut it in half. It's 54 inches long, and I'm going to square it up, saw it in half, and make that the 2 frames on both sides of the compressor. So I'm having a bit of a problem here. I have a 450-pound compressor that I want to put on this box so that I can line it up to the back of this tractor and lay out where these pins are going to go in the arms of the 3-point hitch. But my crane is buried in a greenhouse and a van, and a crane in the garage is kind of blocked in by my square body. So now I need to figure out how to lift this. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to stick the 3-point hitch in there, lift it up, back over, let it down onto the box, pull away, and then get the tractor lined up square to it. So then I can lay out approximately where the drive shaft's going to hook into the point there, and where the bars are going to go for those 2 pins that come off the drive shaft or the 3-point hitch arms. So there we go. We got the we got this plugged in and released. I got my nipple, my flywheel on the compressor, and the drive shaft's in place, and it's bottomed right out right now. So when it lifts up, it will lengthen, and when it goes down, this will be the down on the ground height. So I may shorten this inner and outer shaft a little bit right in here. So that's all going together so far. The only thing that I find is that I have to make a apparatus that actually goes outside the flywheel. So I have to bring a piece of material across here and then mount this pin on right here, and it'll have to be like right there in accordance with both sides of the angle iron. I have to put another pin over here too for that arm. So I'm going to see what kind of material I have. I think I have a big piece of angle iron that should work for that. So there, I made that bar right there go across there. It's quarter wall galvanized pipe, and then I welded the little ends on it. So now I have to figure out how to go from here onto that bar, and then I have to triangulate something up the top here and then back down to the angle iron so that I can put this above the flywheel and extend here so it can be on the 3-point hitch. And I don't know how this is gonna operate, because this is a lot of weight on the back of the tractor. I might end up having to put like a caster on it or something and just use the 3-point hitch as just a stabilizing mounting system. Actually put a big caster with a pneumatic tire on the back of it to roll it around and make it so that it kind of goes up and down, because I want to just put it on some landing gear, like a 4 legs with feet, and then if I lift it up, then it might make the tractor buck up, and that might not be a very good idea unless I get some weight on the front of the tractor. So it's just a small tractor, small 9N, so I have to figure out what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, it's just a small 9N, so when you take 450 pounds of cast iron hanging off the back of a 3-point hitch, might make the thing do the popper wheelie thing. So I'll have to figure that out and see how it's going to behave. So here we go back at the tractor again. I laid this nose right here on here in its positions and dial indicated it with this gizmo right here, dial indicator, clamp, framing square, and then I just laid it down on top like this, and I got a measurement, and that's it right there. Really close. It's about 2 thou, within 2 thou. So I took this little piece of tungsten and I dropped it down in the holes, and I did the circle thing and scribed some circles on there. Now I'm going to get my center punch, and I'm going to center punch them, drill them, and tap them. And I need to find out what kind of bolts I need, how long they are. I might have to even go and buy some custom bolts. We'll have to see. So we're finally drilling down to final drill hole, and then I'm going to put the tap in and tap it. Cast iron drills really well. So I got lucky and dug through my bolt drawer, and I managed to find some grade 8 bolts for bolting on this nose cone. So that's great news. Get this tightened up and get back to putting the PTO shaft on it. And I might just clamp it down and just kind of like ease into it and give it a spin, see what it sounds like. So here we are at the back of the compressor, and I got some angle iron that I got under the feet of the compressor, and now I'm just making some material to go to this area right here where it mounts on to the 3-point hitch. and got that all welded up there. Good enough. Welded the holes. Might throw a couple gussets in the corners here to beef it up a bit, but basically that's that so far. So I'm going to put an apparatus now up here over top of the wheel so that I can put that part on right there, that arm that goes from there to there, laying on the ground there. And then I have to bring some struts down to the frame so that it'll hold it and it won't just fall off. So I get at that now. So I got the frame all welded up, and I have the compressor clamped in place with a couple clamps, and I got one bolt tight on it, so it's going to hold this assembly together. Put a rod in the top right there for the 3-point hitch. It's sitting down. I'm going to fire up the tractor and give this thing a spin and see how it's going to work. Got all the clearances we need. Give her a try here. I don't know what that clunk noise is. That's kind of odd. I don't know what it is. Strange. Anyways, there's our test. Works pretty good. Okay, that's great. Now I can mount the tank and know that this works. So I got this blue tubing here, and I'm basically going to make a table setup here, rectangle scenario with 4 legs on it, and then I'm just going to set the tank on top of it. So that's what I'm doing now. So there we go. I got the tank up there. It's like a 100-pound tank. Really awkward. Didn't know how to get it up there, so I just used the ladder. I set the ladder on the steel frame there, the blue frame, and just slid it up the ladder into place. So that works pretty good. Anyways, now I have to weld that on, and then I want to plumb it and get my take that gizmo off right there. I got a new one, and that's going to be the switch that operates the solenoid that gives the air cylinder air pressure that kicks down the throttle on the column so it revs down. And then if it builds up too much pressure, then I'm going to have it so that another switch will kick off and shut the tractor right off. And then when I start sandblasting again, I'll have to fire up the tractor again and get it running to build air again. But once you're sandblasting, the regulator will turn the idle down on the tractor so it's not pumping as much air, and it'll just keep enough pressure the way I set the switch to maintain 150, 160 psi coming out the end of the sandblaster. So we're starting to do some plumbing now. I'm going to do it all in hard pipe, and it's going to have a little opening right there. I'm going to put a plug in it, and then I got a big gauge right here. When I get an elbow, I'm going to put an elbow on it and turn it upright. But basically, just going to put a piece of pipe right in there, and I got this pressure gauge here hooked up and a new line put on it. So that there's going to run 12 volt, that switch. When that pressure builds up, that'll put open or close 12 volts on that switch, and it'll send 12 volts to a solenoid valve, a solenoid controlled valve that will allow air to go into a cylinder and cut the throttle on the tractor. So that's how that works. Carry on here, get this plumbing done. There she be. There's the weapon. Sandblast heaven. That should get her done. That should get it done. Now I just have to retrofit my air line right there on the side of the tank and plug that little nipple up right there with a plug. And I need an air filter to put on that opening right there so it doesn't suck in any garbage. Like a normal engine, you don't want any dirt in there. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll make some kind of a shroud and enclose it. Make something out of steel or aluminum, or who knows, maybe plastic. We'll figure something out. And then I gotta hook up the switch. Like I'll be able to sandblast, but I'll have to be watching the gauge and having my finger on the ignition switch, shut it off once it reaches too high an air pressure. Otherwise the blow off will go on the side. There's two blow offs there, so, but they're just small ones. I mean, it'd be wise to have a bigger one. So we'll have to see what comes of that. And then I want to sand it down and pressure wash it and get it nice and clean, and put a coat of paint on it and make it look like it's not just made up out of a bunch of goodies that I collected. Okay, so this is the compressor build. It's a 56 CFM and an 80-gallon tank, and I think I'll probably be running it between 120 and 140, maybe 150, 160. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll make a bunch of videos of my projects all painted and finished one day when I get paint crazy on my spray gun. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Tractor needs a tune-up, I think. It's messing like a son of a gun. So maybe a good tune-up on the tractor plugs and stuff to make it sound a lot better. I mean, it has the power, just that it's missing like a son of a gun off and on. It's been sitting all winter, and I really didn't cover it up or anything. So, anyways, too bad it's leaking air right now, but it works.